Today is Tuesday, August 28th, ladies and gentlemen. And again, we are going to be going over my morning trade just so we have this as recorded and you guys can go over it as a nice review. And today has been a very fun second day of this week. We are coming down to the end of August. This is the last week of August. We have off on Monday for Labor Day weekend, and then we are moving over to September. We know, again, the summer is a little bit of a slower time, but we are finally getting our way out of these slow summer months, and we are working our way to the fall. Yesterday, I was able to make it was $184. Today, I was able to profit $244. So I was able to make $244 today, and that was this morning. What an overall just great climb over on ATAI. So ATAI, this stock went from so far 170 all the way up to 330 or 340. Right now we are having a nice little pullback, but this morning was just an overall great stock to be getting in on and a great play. Now let's talk about this play. How was I able to profit off this? Because I had two trades to be able to make up this profit. But how did I find this play? Why did I get in on this play? Everything that you guys want to know. Well, first off, ATAI was a stock that we sent out in our morning newsletter as part of our chart setup. So ATAI, this was a top gainer yesterday, as this stock gained 176% after falling over $5 over the weekend. A lot of traders played this as a dead cat bounce, and momentum took over as it's consistently climbed. This stock has no real resistance until $4 old chart support, which has held as a new resistance line. $2.50 break is where buying volume will move back in, as this is right next to yesterday's high, 5 million in float currently. So again, this is what I send out to you guys every single morning. Our morning newsletter that we go over, kind of the top stocks I want you guys to focus on. And ATAI is right here. So ATAI, this was a play that was absolutely great this morning. And its best rip this morning was actually a play that I wasn't involved with. And what was it? That was the red to green move. We had a buy alert on ATAI for the 191 break. And why was that? Why did we have that alert? And that was for the red to green move. Now, I talked about this morning, but what do you always want to look for in stock trading, especially in day trading? We always like to look for two things, two shapes, either U shapes or we like to look for triangles. Then breaking resistance and having a nice breakout. And then what we have for triangles indicate the stock being in here, squeezing, getting tighter and tighter and tighter until we get that move on up and get a nice breakout. So the best play so far in ATAI throughout the whole entire day has been on this red to green move. Now we all know, again, a red to green move, what we like to call a red to green move is from the open, anything below would be considered red. And then when it U-shapes on up, we are going to the green side. A red to green move is one of my favorite patterns. It's one of my go-to patterns, and it's one of the most consistent patterns that work out the most. Some patterns, again, may not work out every single time. Red to green moves probably have some of the highest rate of success towards them. So I want to talk about this for a second like I did this morning. And ATAI, again, we had the buy alert at 191, but the open on this play wasn't a little bit higher, up towards around like 197. A couple traders were asking me, hey, why? Why do we have it at 191 instead of 197? And again, just a simple, textbook little breakdown of a U shape on where we should be buying. It has us talking about what? Well, we have our first initial U shape, right? And our U shape is basically a stock, having resistance, falling on down, U-shaping, coming back on up, and breaking our resistance. And as you guys know, we can break this down in a couple different areas. We can break this down into the A wall, which would be the initial fall. We have our B wall right in on plays, right around this area when I'm on U-shapes. I like to buy right at the C wall. Now, why do I like to buy at the C wall? Because if I buy at the A wall, we don't even know if this is forming a U at this point. This could just be dropping on down. I don't really like to buy at the B wall because the B wall, we have a little bit of support, but that could just, be coming right back on down. The C wall shows that the stock is building a nice U shape. And again, the majority of traders know U shape. So the majority of traders are going to try to push this stock back up towards where? Towards its top resistance right here. Now, a last little area that a lot of traders like to buy as well would basically be the D, right? And the D would be at the break of resistance right here, right? That's where a lot of traders would look to see if that stock could, basically get a lot of hype right here, shoot up and break this resistance line. So why do I buy right here at C instead of buying at D? Why would I want to look at like a 191 entry than a 197 entry, let's say? And this is It's very simple. When you think about it, it's what? If we know that the stock is going to form a nice U shape, wouldn't we want to get in earlier? It's a lower price. If things go wrong, we can get out quicker and not lose as much money. And if things go right, obviously we're going to be able to make a lot of profit. And on top of that, getting in early, let's say the stock is making a nice U shape right here, and we enter right here at the lower half of the seawall. We know most likely the stock's going to be running up to at least this resistance wall. And since it runs up to at least this resistance wall, two things are about to happen now. Either A, we're going to get a breakout, or B, the stock is going to hit resistance because resistance is a wall and it's going to come back down and turn. So if I'm in at this area, if it breaks out, awesome. That's big time money. But if it doesn't break out and it starts falling back on down, hey, regardless, I'm still going to be up in profit. It may only be a total of 5 cents on 1,000 shares, but hey, that's $50 in profit. That's going to cover my commissions, and I'll still make a few bucks here and there. That's more money than what I just had. So what I always like to buy in on the seawall before resistance is because you want to be able to buy stocks with good hype, good volume, good attention, and traders are going to be making a U shape. So if I'm buying in on the seawall, we're most likely going to be getting up towards our resistance line. If it hits the resistance line and breaks out, great, we're in early and we're ready for the ride. If it hits resistance and that wall starts, turning on back on down, hey, let's lock it up. And regardless, we're still making money. So, that's just a little heads up for you guys on ATAI on, why I put the alert a little bit earlier than this top resistance mark. Because again, this is where I like to try to, look for some nice entries right on the seawall right here. And again, just kind of breaking this down, making sure you guys completely understand this. Completely understanding this right here. Whoop. We have our A wall, you have your B, you have your C, and then right here would be your D. And then you could just see volume increasing as well. Volume increases as the stock goes up, and then boom, breakout, boom, breakout. And that's when that goes on a very nice run and rip. Now, this is not where I made my money this morning. This was the best spike so far on ATAI today, but I put it on alert. I was waiting for a couple more minutes of consolidation, and it actually, blew past my entry before I was ready for it, and it just shot on up. So I was very happy that this place shot on up. I was very happy that, I was right on the money on my thought process. But obviously it's like, I wish I got filled on that play, where I wanted it to. But I'm very happy for all the traders who did make some big time bank today and was able to make money on ATAI on this nice initial spike. Now, where did I make my money on ATAI? I had two different trades on this, and they were more on the lines of scalp plays. And you can see right here on ATAI, I had a total of 8,000 shares today, and I made $244. Now, that's not, again, the biggest profit in the world, as I said. And as I said earlier, I already made my profit of over $10,000 in August. For the next, week straight, I'm probably just going to go for quick scalps. Get in, get out, make my money, and be happy with it, right? And I said this in yesterday's recap as well. Yesterday's recap, I made a total of $184. And we're going through and we're saying, if you do that every single day, you can make some big, big cash. Like today, $244 profit. And, some traders say what? Oh, wow, that's not a huge profit. I want to see $2,000. I want to see $3,000. And again, it just always shocks me when you can just basically say, how much would that be if you made that every day, that stock market's open? So you just do like 244 times 5 equals 1,220. Let's times that by 30 and $36,600. Like it just, or excuse me, that was definitely wrong math right there. 244 a day times 5 days a week. And then we are going to times that by $4,880 times 12 for 12 months in the year. That's $58,000 right there. $58,560. And I know, again, sometimes I like to do that because sometimes, as I said, in the recap yesterday, it's like saying, you make $200 or 150, and sometimes when everyone else is making like $1,000 or $2,000, sometimes you kind of feel like you have to hold longer, or sometimes you feel like you want to hold longer, and then you start losing money because you're bag holding or getting greedy. When you're up in profit, especially right now, lock it in. That's the most important thing. The markets are changing and it's getting very hot, and you're going to be nailing those big time breakouts, very, very soon. But the number one thing I want to focus on, especially for the rest of August, the rest of this week, is when I'm up in profit, I'm going to lock it in and I'm going to grow my account and make sure every single day I'm staying green. So ATAI, how was I able to stay green today? How was I able to make $244? Basically, we had this nice big rip, right? We went on this nice big rip. We went on this nice big climb. The stock started coming back on down, came back on up, came back on down, started coming back on up. And I said to myself, what? Where's the common, theme here? Where is the common support? Where's the common resistance? Common support right here at 240. Lower shadow, 240. Bounce at 240. Bounce at 240, 240, 240, 240, 240. Boom. Good stuff. Okay, where's the common resistance? Common resistance right here. Again, easy way to do this is just, kind of start at the top and drag it down until it looks like it's hitting as many highs as, currently is that. And it kind of looks like right around, boom, like right around there, I'd say, right? 270, right at the upper shadow, 270, upper shadow, 270, upper shadow, maybe a little peak right here at 270, came back on down, and then started moving on up from there. Okay, so we have 270 as our top resistance. We have 240 as our bottom support. Now, where did I get in on this play? Well, I noticed this. I noticed this channel. And if you guys have watched recaps in the past, or you guys know me, I always love playing channels. Channels, I have to look for a third touch breakout. So we have one touch, two touch, and then right here, this would be the third touch. I didn't buy right here, but that's, not a bad area to buy. I just wanted to kind of sit back a little bit. And then what did I start noticing? The stock started making a U-shaped pattern. So we start seeing the stock start making some sort of U-shaped pattern. After, as well, the stock started building higher lows in a channel after about an hour and a half of consolidation. So the stock had a morning spike, came back down, put itself in a channel, now building higher lows. This is when I started getting very interested in this play. Now, you guys see I had a total of 8,000 shares at the start of the day, or 8,000 shares today, which I traded. I bought 4,000 at a time, both at different areas. So my first area I bought in on ATAI was at a price of $269, 4,000 shares. And I bought it right here on this green candle. Now, what was I looking for? Again, I'm looking for the U-shaped to form, break of the strong resistance line right here, or run up to, like, say, 305, 310. That was my ultimate goal. Higher lows, channel pattern, hottest stock on the day, consolidation for the past few minutes, now looking for that nice breakout. So I'm in at 269. I'm in at 269, and I'm saying to myself, hey, you know what? I'm looking for that big time breakout, but then what started happening? The stock did have a pullback. Stock has a pullback. I'm thinking to myself, okay, do I want to hold this stock? If it dumps, is it worth me holding? Well, I said, well, here's a trend line. Let me play that. And also, we do have very nice support right around here next to 260. Let me just be smart, and I locked out 2,000 shares. I locked out 2,000 shares just at the support line because I don't want this thing dumping on me. And if it did dump on me, I want to make sure I'm limiting my losses. So I said, okay, I'm going to lock out 2,000, let the other 2,000 run. Right after that, it did exactly what I thought it was going to do. Popped right on up, went on a nice spike, ran all the way up to 285. Right when it hit 285, I locked out my profit, and I was able to make a total of $70. $70 total, even with the 2,000 share, cut my limit out. I was able to make a total of $70 on this play. So I'm sitting right here now and say, hey, I'm up $70 on the day. Obviously, that's not too, obviously not too much. Still, green is always good. But I'm saying again, what? I got in on this play for a reason. I believe that, if this stock has just broke outside of its channel, I believe if this buying volume has just come through, I believe if we haven't done anything for the last hour and a half and this stock just went on a top game, this morning and yesterday, that this would be a very, very great rip, a very great run. And I still think this could get all the way up to $3 plus. So what did I start, noticing? The stock started climbing. And I said, hey, I'm going to look for another quick scalp. So I got involved with the stock, another 4,000. This is my second 4,000 shares. And I got in on this play where? Right at 296. 296, which is actually right at this area, right here. 296, I got involved with this play. And if I held on to my original 4,000, obviously I'd be up about $400 or $500 right now, which would be awesome. But at the same time, I'm saying to myself, hey, you know what? I'm just going to, go a little bit easier on it. I'm locking in my small gains when I have it. And I got in at 296. So I got in at 296. And then right after I got in, I started seeing this red candle. And the stock came back down towards around like 287. And I started saying to myself, what? Okay, do I want to cut out half my position again? Or do I want to hold this and let, the play follow through? And then I was talking to myself, and you guys were listening. And I was saying, okay, well, let's think this out. We just broke out of a channel. The stock was a top gainer yesterday and this morning. How much higher can this go? How much lower can it go? Well, where's our common support right now? Well, we just had a platform right here at 280. So there's a very strong platform right here at 280. And we also have all the higher shadows right here, the upper shadows from 280 as well. So I said to myself, okay, so it's probably not going to go lower than 280. My stop loss, I set it to 279. and we should be breaking upwards around $3, in the near future. Also, again, ATAI, it's a very hot stock with a lot of room to run. It could go all the way up towards 420. We just broke out of the channel. We have a lot of good buying volume to it. I don't want to cut out at all. So I'm in at 296. The stock starts falling back down towards around 287. I sit there and say, nope, I don't want to cut. We have 280. I put my stop loss at 278. It popped right back on up, popped all the way up towards 305, and that's when I got out. So I had a $70 trade up on my first $70 trade, and then on my second trade, I was able to make like $160 from there. So it's not really, again, massive trades at all. It wasn't any sort of massive trades by any means. What was it? It was just more of small, consistent stocks on scalp plays. And, that's what I've been able to do so far. So I had my first 4,000 and my second 4,000. First 4,000, I was making $70. And then my second 4,000 right here, I was making around $180, $170. So that's how I was able to profit $244 on the day right here. And that was on ATAI. And as I said, I'm not looking to make giant gains right now. And you could see ATAI even continue to run all the way up to highs, all the way up to 336 shortly after, which is absolutely great because the stock has room to run all the way up to the $4 mark. But all I'm trying to do is what? All I'm trying to do is look for predictable areas that the stock should be, moving in the direction that I want. I'm looking for breaks of resistance. I'm looking for U-shapes. I'm looking for triangle squeezes. I'm looking for different areas where I can predict that buying volume will move in, and then I can get a nice pop. I can get a nice climb, and I can see good activity start pushing its way on through. So, that's ultimately what I want to see. That's ultimately, what I've been looking at. ATAI, again, the first thing, if you guys are confused about, the hands down best, opportunity to get in on this play today was where? Red to green move. Beautiful. If you miss the red to green move, again, you stick it in a channel as the stock consolidates, and consolidation is basically like the stock reset. The 305, awesome. Again, this is where I locked in small profit as it climbed on up. I hopped back on in, and then I sold all the way at the top. So it's basically, again, if I'm going to use these lines to kind of show you guys my trade, it was in at 269, out at 280. So this little rip right here, and then it started continuing to climb, and then it's at 296, 4,000 shares, and then out up at 304 for my second 4,000. So obviously, you guys can see right there, not big trades at all. Just staying smart and staying consistent. I'm not letting, my emotions take over right now. I'm not letting my emotions take over. I'm not letting, basically me saying, oh, only 200, let's go for 1,000. Oh, only 1,000, let's go for 5,000. I'm saying to myself, hey, I want to play the chart. It's a hot stock. It's a top gainer of the day. There's definitely a lot of buying volume. Let me hop in for 4,000 shares. Let's see if I can make, 10 cents or so and, make a quick $400. There's nothing wrong with that whatsoever. But every single day, this market is getting slightly hotter. Every single day, we're seeing more breakouts. Every single day, we're seeing bigger breakouts. AFMD running 219%. It was just 223%. This one moving on up still. So, there is going to be a lot of big time moves coming. I'm loving the volume we're seeing. I'm loving the profits we're seeing, not only again for myself, that's, I always get excited when I see, profits, but what makes this even better for me, as I say, when I see you guys profits. Second day here made $80, $477, $600. Tony, yo, Dek, I'm on my 2-week trial. I'm up $2,600. 252. Valor, $3,000. W Knives, $9,000. George, 428. Iconic, 778. 875. 192. To do 376. $416 paper trade. But hey, awesome. 103. 450. 157. The list goes on. I can't go over this all day. It's absolutely great, though. I get so happy when I see those type of big time profits, and it just fires me up. And that's from you guys. Just, again, knowing where buying power is going to move in, knowing where to look at the break of resistance, knowing your chart setups, putting stocks on trend lines, playing triangles, knowing U-shapes, buying on the C wall, not waiting for the D wall, but looking to lock in your profits, not bag holding. It's all about limiting your losses and letting your gains run big. There's no reason to take ever some sort of big loss. I always say if a stock's not working out in your favor, get out and move on. Why? Because there's going to be a million other plays that are going to work out in your favor. Hey, if you guys are listening to this, you know what? There's going to be a ton more opportunities. We're only starting with coming up to the hottest time of the year, fall and winter. Absolutely love it. So get excited, get fired up. As I said, I missed the big time spike this morning, but it makes me so pumped that so much volume is in this market right now. And on top of that, guys, we are only heating up as it's not even Labor Day yet. And Labor Day is basically like the kickoff of everyone get back to school, everyone get back to trading, everyone get back to work. So I'm happy with my profits so far. Again, so far in August, I'm up over $10,000. I have a $184 gain yesterday, $244 gain today. So, just staying slow and steady for, this week, basically finishing off August with small, consistent gains. Maybe by the end of the week, it'll rack up to maybe $1,000 or so. So again, I'm pretty excited about it and not too shabby. Awesome job today for everyone who made some profit. Excited to see what this afternoon brings and excited to see what the rest of the week brings. Let's do it.